It's going to work. All right, so I'm going to talk to you about becoming 3/4 of the man I was. Used to be me.
Oh.
And now. So before, February, a year ago, 240 pounds, extra large shirt, 40-inch waist, body fat about 30%, body mass index 33, obese. Now, I dropped 60 pounds between February and September, about 2 pounds a week. Went from an extra large to a medium shirt size, from a 40 to a 32 waist, body fat 30 to about 15, don't have good data on that. BMI 25, I'm still overweight. This tells you how good body mass index is. As a
BMI is a crock.
Yeah. So Genesis, February, a year ago, stepped on the scales, saw 2,4X. I'd never seen 2,4X before. Right? I'd been around 220, 235 for years. Right? So that was worrisome, and I was planning to spend my sabbatical at Google. A lot of people have heard about the Google 15 because of all the good free food there. And the sabbatical is a time to do something different. So, most of what I did was diet. I tried to keep up my activity level, but I don't think that can account for losing 60 pounds in 7 months. Weigh myself every day, keep track of progress. One of the things, there's a lot of random variation in progress. So, just made a big personal priority. I wanted to make some significant progress. I didn't want to try to lose 10 pounds over a year. I wanted to do something significant. But I also didn't really know what was going to be feasible. Right? So I just went to it. So, diet. This is what worked for me. Although I am a doctor, I am not a medical doctor. So I basically low-calorie diet, aimed for around 1,000 to 1,200 calories per day. Occasional fast, just like, hey, I'm just not going to have any food today. High protein, high fiber, low carb, low fat. Low carb, one of the things I found that worked for me is that because I was on a low carb diet, it really decreased the hunger pangs that I probably would have experienced otherwise on a 1,200 calorie diet. Okay. The other good thing about being on a low carb diet is that the house was full of snacks that are high in carbohydrates. Candy, bread, all sorts of snacks. Because I have 2 kids, the idea of something, well, we're going to get rid of all the snacks and candy from the house would have been a really hard sell. Low fat, just to avoid calories, right? I mean, the Atkins have as much fat as you want. Occasional fast. It's easier than you think, just not have food for a day. Sometimes I don't entirely fast, I get down to just 400 calories. There's actually an article in the LA Times last month about it. Know your calories and carbohydrates for all your major meals. If you go to a chain, don't order from a chain unless you know what the calorie counts are. Lots of things, high protein. Watch out for low-fat dressings. Often they have more calories than the high-fat ones. Let's see. Side effects. I had to completely replace my wardrobe. In fact, the clothes I bought midway through the diet also had to be discarded because they no longer fit me. One of the side effects, I have a large selection of extra large shirts that I haven't given away yet, and quite a number that I cannot replace. And people who haven't seen you in a while don't recognize you, so that's kind of fun. Either they don't recognize you, or you get oh my God, or whatever expression. So that's sort of fun. Exercise. So I feel better, exercise is easier. You would think that losing 60 pounds would feel totally different. It doesn't, and that's sort of surprising. I don't know why. But, I feel good, but you would have thought 60 pounds would be huge. If I try to carry 60 pounds, that's huge. Right? One of the things I noticed is if you've been carrying around 50 extra pounds of fat for a decade, right, then when you get rid of that, you've got a lot of muscle from carrying that 50 extra pounds for all those years. And so everyone thinks, oh, Bill, you're turning into a real gym rat. No, not really. Just all that extra. Okay, it's just about out of time. So keeping it off, I still have to worry about it. Watch everything, bike 13 miles a day. But I've been at 180 to 185 pounds for 6 months. And I go back to mode when it gets above 185. And so I've been at 220 plus for years, just had to make a commitment. And perhaps it was easier to lose 60 pounds than it would have been to just lose 50. And I'm out of time.